This is a Samsung stove. Let me just move up closely on this. This is a Samsung gas range in which we had to call the fire department to turn the stove off. We literally had to call the fire department. I want to show you something. The knobs jammed. See this? The knobs completely have jammed. So you can see right here that the knobs have jammed. This one will turn sometimes. Sometimes it turns, sometimes it jams. This one jammed. And what happened, if you can notice right here, this one is not straight up with this one. The way that this one is, straight up. This one is not like that because this eye jammed. We had it turned on. We were cooking something, went to turn it off, got it almost turned off. It almost turned completely off before it completely jammed. We could not turn it off at all. We could not turn this gas unit off. We couldn't get it turned off. And what happened was something even more dangerous happened because while we were trying to turn it off, the flame went out, but yet the gas was still coming out. But a younger person, a teenager, may have thought that because the flames went out, that it was okay and that the unit was off, because the knob looks like it's almost turned completely off, but it isn't. So what if that had happened? What if there had been a younger person in this house, and there were no older adults home? Suppose somebody was a teenager or young 20s or something, and didn't have enough life experiences to understand that you needed to have called somebody. Or suppose they tried to disconnect the unit. We had to call the fire department. And when the fire department came, not even they could get it turned off. They could not get the unit turned off. They couldn't get the knob to turn. So they had to disconnect it. We had to call the fire department. They had to completely disconnect this stove. And when I made Samsung aware of this, their attitude was very cavalier. They're talking about they were going to send somebody out to look at it, and it might take them a week before they could get somebody out here to look at it. I told them I didn't want another stove. I was calling to make them aware that they've got a serious design flaw with these stoves, a dangerous design flaw. It's dangerous. And they didn't care. And then when I went to their website, I just happened to do a search. I did a search for knobs not turning off of gas ranges. Knobs jamming on gas ranges. I didn't even put in a brand name when I did that search. And Samsung was the first name that showed up. In fact, I didn't see this problem with other brands. I don't know if other brands are having this problem, but I didn't see that problem. And when I clicked on the complaint with Samsung, it was coming from their own website, and there were so many people complaining about how they had purchased units and how the knobs jammed. There were other people complaining about that, and they were different models, so it wasn't just this particular model that I had. And some of these complaints were up there from about 2-3 years ago. So this stove was purchased about 7 years ago. When you purchase a stove or refrigerator or a washing machine, that should be a long purchase. You should only ever have to get rid of them if you want to just get a new model, but not because they break so easily. But this is a horrible design flaw. So we had to get the fire department to turn it off, and the only way they could do it was to completely disconnect this unit. The knobs stopped turning. Now you can see this one will now turn. This one will turn. This one will not. This one will not. And neither will this one. And Samsung's attitude was very cavalier. They don't care. They do not care. And I wasn't even trying to get a new stove from them. I wanted to just make them aware that this was going on, that this is a danger. But anyway, we have had to buy a new stove. We should not have had to do that. And they're going to be delivering the new stove soon. but I wanted people to be aware of this extremely dangerous situation, this design flaw. And is this happening with other units? This should never happen. It should never happen. It should never happen. But it did. And it's happening now. Now you see this one again is now jammed. Well, that jammed, but then it unjammed. But this right here. But these will not, no matter what. They are jammed. They won't turn. Can't accept this. Can't continue to accept this. Can't accept this at all. We need to really be upset that this could happen to a gas unit. And I even saw where people were complaining on Samsung's website about how they had to purchase an electric range and that the oven would come on by itself, or that when they tried to close the oven door and tried to turn it off, it wouldn't turn off, that the oven would continue to be on. This was from some of their electric ranges. But this is a serious problem. And I just wanted to make people aware of the dangers that could happen when you buy a stove, and especially a Samsung unit.